not joking. All my guys, them know me.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Melissa, and if you're new on this channel, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, click the notification bell so that whenever I post, you will be the very first to find out. Okay, or don't you like this beautiful face that is looking at you, this smiley face? So if you want to be seeing this face often, then you need to subscribe to my channel and that notification bell, click on it so that once I post, you will just get it straight to whatever gadget that you use in watching YouTube. So before I go on, I want to say thank you to Bob and Brad for sponsoring today's video. So they sent me the ILR 2 eye massager, which of course I'm going to unbox and tell you guys about. But in the meantime, let's just talk about today's topic. From the title of this video, you already know what we're going to be talking about: ILR. So we came into the UK. When I say we, I'm talking of myself and my husband, because at the time we came into the UK, there were no kids. It was just both of us, newlyweds, starting our lives together, you know. It was, see the way I'm blushing, because I can really remember vividly, like when we got our visa. Oh my goodness. And we traveled down to the UK. It was so beautiful. I can't believe how far we've come. I can't believe that we are finally in the stage of ILR. Like, I literally went for my biometrics this morning. Like, how? And we got a message from Home Office today. Like, now you might be wondering what ILR means, because I remember talking to a friend that, see, things are rough for us this period. Like, we know this period, we are dealing with a lot. We are applying for ILR, so many things. And she's like, what is ILR? I'm like, wow, you're in the UK, you don't know what ILR means? So you can imagine someone in Nigeria watching me now. The person might not even know what I'm talking about, or someone abroad basically might not know what I'm talking about. I mean, for someone in this country to ask me, what is ILR? Can I imagine what someone that has never heard of the acronym ILR will be thinking? Like, what is this girl even talking about? What she's blabbing about? So ILR is an acronym for indefinite leave to remain. It is more like a settlement. What that means that you have no business having a visa. Like, you won't need to apply for visa. You don't need a visa to stay in the UK. You don't need COS wahala. You don't need an employer to help you stay in the UK. You're now settled in the UK. Like, you can live happily ever after in the UK. The UK has finally told you, welcome my son, welcome my daughter. You can now balance and stretch your leg and say, hey, what one are they talk again? Hey, you know, gives you like a bragging right. I think Canada call it PRO, but in the UK it is called indefinite leave to remain, ILR. It gives you the right to live in the UK, work in the UK, study here for as long as you want. Like, you can live in the UK for eternity. You don't need anybody's right to live in the UK, if that makes sense. And you're entitled to public funds. You know, when you're on Tier 2 or student visa or Tier 1, stated on your BRP that you have no access to public funds. So when you finally get to ILR, you have access to public funds, and you can also apply for British citizenship. So it's best to say ILR is like the goal, it's like the end point. It's where everybody's eyeing, like, I want to get my ILR, like, I want to have bragging right to live in the UK. So that is what ILR means, if that makes sense. So ideally, you must have worked and lived in the UK for 5 years before you can apply for ILR, but it depends on the type of visa you're on. I know for global visa it's like 3 years. If you have a Tier 1 visa, it may be 2 years or 3 years. It may even be 10 years depending on the kind of visa that you're on. But for myself and my husband, we are on the skilled worker visa, the Tier 2 skilled worker visa, so it's 5 years. And our 5th year, see guys, come closer, because you need to understand everything I want to say now. I'm gonna try my best to break it down. Like, you need to understand it, because I do not want anybody to have to go through this. Like, you just need to come closer and understand. I'm gonna try my best to be taking it one step at a time. So no rush in this video. Settle. See, go and bring your Capri Sun, go and bring your Zobo. Who is sharing Ribena here? Okay, for Ribena, do you want smoothie? What do you want? Because you need to balance, you need to relax and listen attentively, because the teacher is in class. You know, Teacher Melissa, I'm teaching you now from my experience. Oh my goodness, see the way I'm smelling. I don't even know why I'm excited. You know, when I get this kind of view, sometimes instead of being down, I just try to, you know, shake it off. this is the Bob and Brad's eye massager. I love the design. Just have a look, guys. This is so sleek, and it has a double layered pad, which you can see, to help reduce pressure, and it has an adjustable strap, which is this, and the leather is hypoallergenic. Guys, this is lovely. This is the power button. These are the functions which I'll take you guys through, and you can see that it has a foldable design that allows you to take it anywhere, so you can easily fold it and put it inside this purse and you're good to go. That way you're taking comfort, relaxation everywhere you go. It doesn't just limit you to home only. You can use it in the office, you can use it while traveling. Tell you guys something, right? Since I got this thing, it's been so good. I'm someone that sleeps late at night. I sleep 2 a.m. sometimes. On a good day, I sleep 11 p.m. or 12 a.m. I have a very busy lifestyle, so this just helps me stay relaxed. Just all you need to do, just put it across your eye, and it just gives you that tender feeling. And I love the fact that it has music, so it just helps you stay even more relaxed. The Bob and Brad ILR 2 is a rechargeable electric eye max massager that brings relief to your strained eyes, and of course it has heat, compression, and music. What more do you need? It brings that spa experience to you, right to your doorstep. You don't need to go to the spa. If you want to relax your eyes, you want to apply some pressure to your eyes, some heat to your eyes, you don't need to go to the spa. You know, all those things they do in the spa. With this, you can be able to get it right in the comfort of your home or your office or your hotel room or wherever. It is designed by renowned physiotherapists Bob and Brad. You should know them on YouTube. They have millions of followers. It targets acupressure points around your eyes, stimulating blood circulation for a firmer, more youthful look. So when you're stressed or you feel like you've strained your eyes, sometimes you start to have eye bags. Your eyes just give it away that you're stressed. You can't even hide it. But with this ILR 2, you can be able to massage your eyes. Like I said, it was developed by renowned physiotherapist Bob and Brad, so it was not just designed by just any person. So you can tell that it is indeed safe because it was created by knowledgeable people, by professionals. Now with this eye massager, you can say goodbye to sore, dry eyes, tension around your eyes. We need to look after our eyes, very important. For me, I like to just put it on my eyes for like 15 minutes before going to bed, and most times I wake up feeling so rejuvenated, re-energized, and it even helps me to have a very peaceful and relaxed sleep. Like I said, it has a built-in music that guarantees you a very, very relaxed and peaceful experience. It has 5 different modes. Mode 1 has hair pressure, heat, and music, but if you feel like you want something else, you can switch to mode 2 that has hair pressure and heat only, or if you feel like you want something else, you can switch to mode 3 that has just hair pressure only, or you can switch to mode 4 that has heat only, or you can switch to mode 5 that has heat and music. My favorite is mode 1 because it has both heat, pressure, and music. Like, who doesn't really want to have that kind of experience? It's Christmas. This is the time where you gift your loved ones. Believe me, this is the perfect gift for your loved ones. They're gonna love it. I highly recommend that you gift your loved ones this. They're going to appreciate you for it, because myself, I have a beautiful experience using this, and I don't think there's anybody that will not like this. Now the link to Bob and Brad's ILR 2 will be in my description box, and there's a 10% code in my description box for you, for my special people. So another major requirement is the salary requirement, and that is why those of you that are on health and care worker visa and you're not working, like you've not been working for the past 1 year because they're not giving you shifts, it is a red flag. It is indeed a red flag, trust me, because you have to meet a certain threshold, a certain salary requirement, and also you need to have written and passed the Life in UK test. So guys, if you want to know about the Life in UK test, let me know, because I prepared for my Life in UK test in 3 days. I'm not kidding, in 3 days. Like, I was so busy that period. Like, my husband already cancelled me. He said there's no way you're not gonna fail, because how do you prepare for this in 3 days? But somehow he was able to find out a particular website that summarized everything. So if you're preparing for Life in UK test, let me know and I'll be more than happy to share the link to you. Believe me, in 2 days you should be able to pass. So that's part of the requirement. And for myself, I needed to write an English test, not IELTS. I think I wrote the B1 test. I would talk more about it in subsequent videos. It's been a long time. I need to check my email and confirm the academy that I wrote it with, but it was very easy. It's nothing, like 15 minutes test. Was very, very easy. I don't think anybody will fail that kind of test. So now this is our dilemma. This is the problem we are having. Now, we stepped our feet into the UK on the 14th of January 2019. That means we've not completed 5 years yet in the UK. So we'll complete 5 years in the UK 14th of January 2024, if that makes sense. Now, when we're going through this application process, we're a bit worried. Why were we worried? You're allowed to apply for ILR 28 days before you hit 5 years in the UK, if that makes sense. So ideally, the earliest we can apply is 17th of December, which as I'm talking to you now, it's not yet 17th of December at the time I'm making this video, but we have already applied. So why did we do that? So our visa, in case you're wondering, my husband is the main person. My husband is on the skilled worker tier 2 visa, while myself, I'm a dependent. Now, our visa, that's the visa we are currently holding. So at the time of making this video, our visa was due to expire on the 5th of December 2023, I think about last week, and the earliest we can apply for ILR is 17th of December. So you can see that there is a gap, about 2 weeks gap. And my husband thought about it. Would I, because of 2 weeks, go and tie myself down with an employer for at least 3 months? Do you understand? So it was a dilemma we're in. We were so confused. We didn't know what to do. Like, we were so confused. Like, I've never seen my husband in that situation before. Like, he was thinking and thinking and thinking. And meanwhile, to even complicate the issue more, his COS, as in the job he was with at the time, was due to end 21st of November. Do you understand? He was due to stop his job 21st of November. So many dates, but I'm just taking it like one step at a time, and I hope that I've been doing well so far with my explanation, right? Because I feel like a lot of people are going to be in this situation. I didn't even know it was a thing until we got to this point. And one of the requirements you must fulfill while applying for ILR is your employer must state that you are still needed for the job you're on. Like, that's your job. You get a letter from your employer stating that you're still needed for that job. Now, this particular job, that is COS, was expiring 21st of November. Our visa to stay in the UK was expiring 5th of December. And the earliest we can apply for ILR is 17th of December. So by the time we are applying for ILR 17th of December, the letter from his employer, which is a must, which is a requirement, must have expired. Because how can you be applying for ILR 17th of December and the letter from your employer is stating that you're still needed on that job till 21st of November? So home office will be like, so from the 22nd of November up till now, what are you doing? And you know what it takes to get a new employer, the whole process, interview process, everything, get visa renewal, waiting for COS, like all the plenty stuff and expenses that comes with, you know, visa renewal and changing employer and everything. And there was no way it could have remained with that employer because he was being on training and the training was ending. So at that point, there was no way he could continue his training. Like, you're done with your training, he has no business being with that employer. So it was a very tricky situation. It was so tricky. Also, like, does it mean that you have to start looking for another job and tie himself down with an employer for 3 more months, you know, when you can easily be on your own and earn a lot of money? My husband is not a nurse, but I want to give an instance. Like, a nurse, when you know that you can easily work with an agency and you're earning money, like making lots of money, you have to sit down yourself down with the NHS for 3 months. That's an instance, but that's not my husband's situation because he's not a nurse. So that was the dilemma, that was the situation we're in. So we had to take a big risk. Like, my husband is a risk taker. I don't think I've ever come across anybody in my life that can take risk like my husband. He's so big on taking risks. I mean, there's some investments we want to do, and I'm like, see, my hand no day. Like me, that's supposed to be like the understanding and encouraging wife. I will be shaking. I'm like, this money you're putting into this thing, it is too freaking much. My hand no day. Like if we crash, don't come leaning on my shoulder because I will withdraw. Like, you know, there's some things that you would say as a wife and fear will enter your husband's body and your husband will not make that move. You're talking to somebody else. It's definitely not my husband. My husband will coordinate himself and take that big financial risk, and from nowhere, God has just been so kind to him. Somehow it will always make sense. Like it always yields results. He's so big on taking risks. See, once you see investment, anything like calculation, see, just leave it for him. Honestly, just leave it for him. So 11th of November, my husband took the big risk of applying for ILR that he should have applied for. Like the earliest you can apply for is 17th of December. He took the big risk and applied for it 11th of November. And I told you guys the reason. Number one, we needed a letter from his current employer at the time stating that he still needed on the job, and the COS with the employer was due to expire 21st November, and our visa to live and work and stay and study and thrive in the UK was due to expire 5th December. So the only solution at that time was to get a new employer. And him, being an inner man with so much wisdom, he calculated the money. Like, how do you know how much I'm gonna lose if I work with an employer for 3 months when I should have been an independent boss, doing my thing, not answerable to anybody, going, you know, it was like, I cannot endure this anymore. And I completely understood. So he took the big risk and applied for ILR 11th of November. Now, it costs £2,885, so £2,885 to apply for ILR for one person. That's the standard. If you want to do a priority service, it will take I think extra £500. But in our case, because of the dilemma, we needed to get a decision as soon as possible so that we know what we are doing, you know, so we don't stay in the UK illegally. And we didn't want to risk using the standard service because standard can take like 6 months. Yeah, I know some person that it took 6 months, can take as far as 3 months. So at the time we must have applied, we wouldn't even know what's going on because we applied that early. So we'll now wait for 6 extra months. Imagine waiting for 6 months and then they tell you that you applied too early, you lose your money, and they'll tell you that because of that you've lived in the UK illegally, or, you know, we just needed to know what we are doing. And definitely once it's 21st November, it would be jobless. So in that situation, if we're still waiting for standard, what would we do? Does it mean that you will have to now be working independently when you don't have ILR, when you don't even have a decision? You don't know. There was a lot. So we just felt like, okay, the worst that can happen to us at this point, since we really don't want to get another job, is we'll lose money. And to be honest, like I said, this man is a risk taker. He was ready to chase this loss. So we're talking about 2,885 for one person. Super priority for him is 3,885. Then for me, 2,885. Super priority for me, that's extra 1,000. Like I said, super priority is 1,000 extra. So for me, 3,885. If I'm right, I don't have calculator, but if I'm right, it should be like 7,770. If I might be wrong, but I think that should be 7,770 pounds. Imagine taking a risk of 7,770 pounds. You know, that's almost like, that should be up to 9 million naira. What's 9 million? No, more than 10 million naira in Nigeria. Yeah, more than 10 million naira in my local currency. So do you know it means to take a risk that you could lose your 10 point something million or your 11 point something million, your 7,770 pounds? But this man took that risk. Now, he did a super priority service, which of course this morning we went for thumb printing, like we've done all the application. So ideally, we should have some people, if they do super priority, they get a response on that particular day, or highest, like latest is the next day, because it's the 24-hour service. But we got our response today. We just left Manchester, like, in fact, it took us like 2 hours because we left our town to Manchester. The moment we got back, it didn't even reach like 30 minutes of relaxing. We got a response from Home Office. And the moment we saw the email, my heart skipped, like, my husband's heart sunk. Not be sunk, like, hey, God. Like, oh my days. And we opened it and got the bombshell. So Home Office stated that we applied, if it grants me permission, I'm gonna leave the letter here, but if you don't see, that means it did not give me permission, because I even had to seek his permission to make this, because I feel like I don't want people to be in this kind of situation. I feel like lots and lots of people, it's very easy to find yourself into this kind of situation. I really don't want lots of people to find themselves, so I even had to like plead with him to please allow me make this video, because my husband is so private. It's like do your YouTube but keep me out of your YouTube. He's that kind of person. So if he permits me, I'll leave the letter here. If he does not permit me, then just listen to what they said. So they stated that we applied too early for our ILR role, and that we have to wait till funny enough, instead of the 17th of December, which we calculated, they said we have to wait till 12th of December. So what that means is that they use the date that we got a decision on our visa. That's our first visa in 2019. So they calculate 28 days before that date that they granted us the visa. But we're calculating 17 because we're using the dates we entered the UK. That's 14th of January 2019. But then they use when they stamped our visa or whatever, when they stamped our passport, when they granted us United Kingdom visa, if that makes sense. So that was what they used, and they calculated 28 days back and said the earliest that we should have applied is 12th of December. And to God we have it, because God is always on the throne. God is so kind. God is so good. My husband's name is Miracle, and that name has been following him all the days of his life. His native name is Onyedikachuku, who is like God. And because God is too kind, is too faithful, we did not lose our money. Like, can somebody say Jehovah Igwe? Can somebody say Jesus Igwe? Can somebody say Jesus Iye? Hey, we did not lose our money, because if I lost that money, my husband is not used to losing. Like I said, I don't even know where I will start from. Like my fellow wives, we understand. Like if you're a wife, you know what it means for your husband to be down. If your husband is down, your downtime is 100, because hey, the house will be so gloomy. And like, I hate when my house is gloomy. I hate it so much. I love when we are all laughing, we are all happy, same movie. I don't like when my husband is not happy, because it will rub off on me and I don't want it. So to God we have it. They said, okay, what will happen is that they are going to hold our application and we will get a decision 12th December. What that means is that we didn't get a decision in 24 hours, but at least we got to hear from them. Now, imagine if we had done standard, we would have been so ignorant, we won't even know what was going on. Like, we just needed a decision as soon as possible, and that was the response that we got from them. Because of that, they said, okay, that my husband is free to work independently, which has been his goal, to work independently, not to work with anybody. So they were like, he's free to work in the UK without being under anybody's visa. So they updated the share code. He was so happy. And then myself, on the other hand, these people did not update my share code. They forgot me. They forgot that I am working too. They did not update my share code. And my visa was due to expire 5th of December, which I told you guys. So I didn't know what to do with my employer. My employer called me. My employer said they didn't even waste time to send me email. Baba to Baba, your visa is due to expire 5th December. Can we know your plans? You know them now, because they want to know if you're not working with them anymore. So my share code was still saying that I have till 5th of December to live and work in the UK. I sent my employer the email we got from Home Office. They asked for our application reference number. I sent it to them, and then they came back and said they've checked and I'm free to actually live and work in the UK till 12th of December. That's the date that Home Office gave us. So at the time of making this video, we've not gotten a decision. I still don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm very positive that we should get it. It should be a positive decision, because I mean, why not? All the requirements, everything that they need, we fulfilled all of them. We presented everything. Everything is clear. So fingers crossed that we're gonna get a decision. So what that means is that they're gonna hold on to our money, and then 12th December we'll get a decision. When we get a decision, be right sure that I'm storming this channel. So you guys will see me dance, you guys will see me sing, you guys will watch me roll on the floor. I don't make mouths now. When the time come, I'm gonna be so calm. But you know how it feels now. Like, Melissa is settled in the UK. I can live in the UK. I can work for us. See, I'm here now. No leave, no transfer. You don't mean it. If we're not ready for the craze you're gonna see when we get our ILR. And you say like, God, you guys are not ready. So that's why you need to subscribe to my channel. But by God's grace, I don't want to say what if like we may not get it. There's nothing like we may not get it. We are getting it, because God forbid. Hey, God forbid. Yeah, so people, that's it. That's what happened. Now, this is a risk that we took, and I'm not saying it's the right thing to do, it's the right process. Please, by all means, do not take this risk. I won't encourage anybody to, if you're in that dilemma, don't do this super priority. It might backfire on you, if that makes sense. So guys, if you have any question about ILR, I feel like I'm so confident when it comes to ILR, because I don't do investigation tire. Share with me in the comment section, guys. And of course, thank you for watching this video. See this fine face. I want you to see this fine face again. Subscribe to my channel. Peer that subscribe button. You see that red button? Peer like this. And I will see you in my next one, guys. Bye.